Bishop, when a man is out with his wife, girlfriend, fiance, among his friends, how do you want our women to behave?
Let me answer that very quickly. Very quickly, without hesitation.
Hold on tight, the answer is coming. The gun has been cocked already.
One of the things a woman should never do is to try and laugh at the jokes of my friend more than they laugh at my jokes.
Bishop, but what if the man's jokes are boring?
Yes, no. I am the funniest man as far as my wife is concerned, or my girlfriend. I'm the funniest man in the world. If you are the one laughing the most at the jokes of my friend, I'll be offended. Please,
it's a given.
Don't laugh too much, even if the guy is funny. Kanyagia.
Hello everybody, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you. This is Coffee with BDM. Every Friday we're here, and I'm sure now you're all excited. Last week we had a very, very great and controversial somehow topic. It was, we were dealing with what men wish women would know. And we had a lot of comments, and there was a lot of back and forth and agreement, and some saying, no, you're hitting on us too hard, and okay, fine. And as we promised, Bishop David Moredi today will be dealing with this topic, what women wish men would know. So before we even get into the highway of this interview, please share this on your wall, start a watch party, invite everybody and anybody that you may know, because today's topic will be bumper, it will be hard. Bishop David Moredi, thank you again, once again, as always, giving us your wisdom. And from what, during the week, we've been getting very many comments that people are excited and waiting to hear what you will say, because some ladies thought we were too hard on them last week. So I think for the men now, they need to buckle up.
Yes, they do.
Thank you very much. Bishop, women, even from last week's show, were saying, okay, fine, we understand that we need to know this. But even these men are not as perfect. What are some of these things that you think women are desperate for men to know, and you're just assuming that everything is okay?
Well, thanks for having me, and it's such a joy to be here again. It's always a pleasure to come in and just exchange, with you and with the public, and to hear what they're saying, and basically to scratch where it's itching. I personally think that men are worse off than women, if you ask me.
Wow.
They are worse off than women because women actually tend to educate themselves. They talk a lot. They share a lot. Men don't talk. Men don't share. Women have got conferences which they go to. When a women's conference is called, women go where they're educated. So I think, holistically, generally speaking, women are better off than men. Okay. Men are worse off because we have an ego. We don't go to conferences. We don't go to seminars. We don't talk to each other. We don't sharpen each other. We leave each other, So every man is by himself, literally speaking. So I think it's going to be a hard one this evening because there are many, many things that men need to know. And I wish I can be a voice, speaking as a man to the men.
Have we failed the women?
Generally speaking, yes, we have. We have big time. I think women are craving and dying for the man to be the man. I think if I can just start shooting straight, I think the first thing that women
who is a
don't
man?
Like, I think the first thing that women don't like really is men who have beards but they're still boys.
Men who have beards and are still boys.
They're still boys. I mean, a lot of men walking around, and trying to date the girls, they're still boys in their mentality.
Right.
They're still boys in their disposition. They're still boys, in many, many respects. The way they behave, you're still a mommy's boy.
Yeah.
You have never grown out of being a mommy's boy. And women don't like that. A woman didn't come to you because she was looking for a boy. She came to you because she was looking for a man. And I think the first thing I can just start saying off the hook is that women don't like dating a man in the name of a man, and then the man ends up being a small boy in their mentality and disposition and the way they carry themselves. I think it's a disappointment to many, many women, and unfortunately, many, many women experience that. They're crying and they're craving for when will these boys graduate to be men? Because you're looking for men, but they're very rare. It's like a rare species. It's an endangered species to speak the least. Where are the men? I think if I hear the women ask, where are the men? I don't know if you've had people saying there are no men in the city.
Absolutely.
There are no men in the country, and it's a genuine cry where women are longing for the men they have in their homes and in their lives to graduate and be the men who can lead and be visionary, and be the man that a woman can lean on. I don't care how big the woman is, and I don't care how much she earns. A woman needs to lean on a man at a certain age.
Mm-hmm. So there are many, many boys around, but there are very few men.
Very, very few men. And our women are crying. Our women are crying for, when are we going to have these boys become men? In fact, I think they feel conned, most of them.
Yes.
Because you see a man who you think is a man, but only to hook up with them and discover that they're still very boyish in their mentality.
What is the first thing that oozes manhood? Besides, of course, as you say, women get disappointed when they get close to the man. So, of course, one of the first things is the physicality. You see a man in beards and quite of age. But vision-wise or character-wise, what are some of these things that men must ooze or manifest for a woman to say, surely I'm lucky to have gotten a man and not the boy?
You see, women. The problem with women, what they're having at the moment is that they're having these men who are still, in quotes, in diapers. They're in diapers.
Right.
A man is a man who, first of all, has vision. A man is a man who is a leader. A man is a man who knows where he's going. You see, the Bible says basically that God will give us a helpmate. Now, how can God give you a helpmate if you're doing nothing?
And there's nothing to be helped.
Nothing to be helped, really. I mean, come on. I mean, when God looked from the particles of heaven, he saw a man, and he saw the man needed help. And he says, I'll give you a helpmate, And I always tell the women, man, you can follow any car, but don't follow a parked one.
What are some of the telltale signs? There's a woman listening, and she's getting close to a boy or a man. She's not sure yet. What are some of the quick telltale signs?
Just the telltale signs of babyish behavior.
Conversations
are very, very pediatric still. The guy is crying all the time. The guy is a mommy's boy. A mommy's boy, it's mommy all the time, You have a woman in your life. Come on, grow up and style up.
Yeah.
You can't be mommy. And I'm not saying that, calling your mom once in a while or talking to your mom is wrong. I'm not talking that. I'm talking about the extremes, of being a mommy's boy. Your mother has to call you in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, tell you what you have cooked, what you have eaten, have you dressed, have you woken up, have you done this, all that kind of thing. You're not in charge of your finances. You're not in charge of your life. How can a woman come to somebody like that?
It's impossible.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But there's so many things. I think I'm going to do 2 parts of this because this is quite exciting to me. I have been listening to to women quite a bit, and men too, in the many years I've been in ministry. And let me tell you another thing that women don't like. Women don't like so many things. One of the things is that if you're going to be a proper man to a woman, you have to have hygiene. You have to be clean. Let me talk to my boys and my men, wherever you are, please just keep that hygiene up there. Oh my God. I'll never forget one time, up country, I was having a fundi come to check something, and they removed their shoes.
There's a bomb blast there.
And when they removed the shoes, I honestly thought there was something wrong with the toilet. And I said, is there anything wrong with the toilet? Because of the stench that came out. I was naive, only to discover it was the shoes of the guy who had walked in, And I later thought, this guy has a wife in the house. And he gets into the bed with a wife. Hygiene, I see people, sometimes, and I wonder, oh my God. I want to congratulate the women, by the way. Women have got a special gracing.
They've taken in a lot.
Oh God. Women have got a special, may God bless all the women. Women have got a special gracing. Somebody who does not even brush their teeth are completely off, and that person is going to come and kiss this woman, is your husband. Hygiene is completely off, and it puts off the woman. The woman is put off with your poor hygiene. Just the basics, of having a shower is a problem to some men, and yet you have a woman, and the woman cannot tell you, or the woman tries to hint, but you're not catching it, you're not getting it, just hygiene. I thought about this man who came into my house, and I said, oh my God, this guy will go back to a woman, and the woman will have to take all these things in the name of my husband, and if I have heard women, and I think they're right, because I myself have experienced, how we can be very poor when it comes to hygiene ourselves. Hygiene can be something very, very important in our lives. Please, men, I get a nice roll-on. You don't have to stink, your armpits. You don't have to smell in any way. And let me say something that really appeals to women. It's just a good scent.
Yes.
Just having a good smell, just appeals to a woman. I mean, it's a sign that, hey, this guy is keeping himself nice, And what does it take? Just soap and water to be clean.
Yeah. The basics.
You don't have to smell, You don't have to put somebody off. One time I was with somebody, and I didn't like the way they were smelling, and it was basically because of hygiene. And I promised to myself, I will never allow anybody to go through that kind of experience with me. I'll make sure I'm clean.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure that I'll get at least a cologne, so I'm not appalling to people's nostrils.
Yes.
I'm not appalling, rather I am appealing. So these small things, The other thing I think that I see a lot of men doing is that when you're with your woman, please, don't start gazing at other women.
And that's one thing many men do, Bishop.
Don't gaze at other women. Your woman is watching you. Your woman is not stupid. When you're looking at another woman, she will pick it up and she will know. These people sniff danger from afar.
Yes.
Women sniff it. They're like T9 dogs. They sniff it. And you may think that, you're sharp, you can look at another woman without her knowing,
But they have the business covered.
Oh, my goodness. She knew long time ago. And don't do that, because it will put a woman off completely and totally. You're with her and you're looking at other women. How can you do that as a man, by the way? How do you even dare do that? I mean, just common sense. Just use a little bit of wisdom.
Yes.
Just use a little bit of wisdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, in fact, ladies, please type and tell us this hygiene thing. What is your take on it? Have you maybe experienced somebody whose hygiene was appalling and not appealing? and what does that do to you? Because you've taken care of yourself well, but you're not. But Bishop, what does it do to a woman when you're with your wife or fiancé or girlfriend and you're in a public place? It could be a cocktail or something, and this man is evidently ogling at another woman. What does that make the woman feel? Even as they comment, please tell us what it makes you feel if you've ever experienced that and how you handle the situation.
Women don't like that because it is embarrassing. You see, a woman is wired to be adored. A woman is wired to be glanced at and to be appreciated. And the moment that focus changes, then the woman feels like you don't really appreciate her. And there's nothing that, is demeaning to a woman, like a woman when she feels that you don't appreciate her. And you show that you don't appreciate her by looking at other women, and ogling at other women, and why did you go with her in the first place? Why did you go with her? Why are you with her in the first place? I mean, why did you go with her to that party or to that, you said, cocktail?
Yes.
And you know very well that you don't appreciate her. I mean, it could have been good for you to go along so you can glance the way you want, whoever you want. But you took the time to invite her, and go with her, and so you should always honor the person you're with, and you honor them by giving them respect and treating her like a woman. Let me say this. I don't care which woman it is. They still want to be treated like a woman. I don't care. In this age of, independence, the independent woman,
yes,
and the women's rights and stuff and all that is going on, a woman wants to be treated like a woman. You understand me? And you treat her like a woman by adoring her and lifting her up and giving her attention and showing her you are the center of my life. and no other woman really moves me or changes me, you know, that's what women want. That's what women want. So the moment you start glancing and ogling at other women, my friend, you lost it. You lost it. You lost it a long time ago.
Gentlemen, I think you're hearing what Bishop David Moridi is saying. And please, you can't do that, and your woman is there. And women, please give us your comments. We want to check them out, and let's have a discourse. Let's see, do you agree with Bishop? And gentlemen, is it possible to go to a public place and not stare and glance at other women? Last week, Bishop, you said something. You said when you're with your husband, the woman's with the husband, and he cracks a joke, that should be the funniest joke ever. And it hurts a man when a woman laughs at another man's joke in the presence of the husband. So let's put this scenario whereby you're in a cocktail, of course, and there are many people around the table. You're all there, so it's you and your wife and a few other people and other ladies. And your wife is speaking. What things should a man do in as far as complimenting or non-verbal communication? Well, the wife is speaking. What should a man do?
Well, when the wife, the girlfriend is talking, and you were there, I think first and foremost, you should be paying attention. I think you should never disagree with her in public, even if she's wrong. Just keep quiet if you need to. I think you should never argue with her in public. There's some things you don't do in public when your woman is talking, when she's expressing herself. You don't. You just keep quiet, you know. Let everybody else disagree with her, but not you. Not you. Not you. You can disagree with her when you go home and tell her, but I think, sweetheart, you know, I think that point you made, you know, was incorrect. I think it's supposed to be like this and like that. But in public, oh my goodness, public is everything to a woman. The man should know that. Public is everything to a woman. Everything. So everything you do in public, you really must think twice before you do it.
Yes.
This is my advice to the men. You have to think twice, if not thrice. Everything you do in public. Don't disagree with her in public. Even if she's wrong, don't.
You'd rather keep quiet?
Oh, please. I've interacted with men who have had women and much older than me. And I've seen some women even misbehave, literally. Literally misbehave, you know. And I've gone to ask them, you know, hey, why can't you put your woman in order, you know? And the guy says no. So one of the guys who I respect highly, came and told me later, well, we talk when I go home, but I don't do that in public.
In public?
I don't do it. I don't do it in public. And even the woman can even say things that are actually demeaning to the man sometimes.
Oh.
But the man will just take it easy. And you think the man is foolish. He's not foolish. He's wise. He knows where to do it. He knows where to correct. And he knows the best environment. And the best environment is not in the public.
Wow. Wow. I hope you're sharing this on your wall. Some heavy stuff going on here. And as Bishop said at the top of this, is that you think we'll do part 2.
Yes, I want to do 2 parts.
We'll do part 2 of this. So next week, Friday, we'll still go on with the same topic. Bishop, in this day and age, we have many women who try and, because they're friends with a man, and the man comes to a public forum with the wife, and they try to be too cozy with the man. The man must maintain respect, should not cause a scene, not being too rude on this other woman, but also needs to protect the wife. How would a man handle that situation? Because I know for sure many men have been in that situation. Maybe they bump into a woman who they knew well even before they met their wives. So there's that friendly kanda, you know, there's that banter between them. But now the man is married. But some women don't seem to respect those lines that the man is married. How would a man behave in such a scenario while still not losing this friendship, but keeping the honor of the wife?
You can keep the friendship, but you're in the driver's seat. Well, the man has to be in the driver's seat.
Yes.
I mean, please. I mean, you're the one who really pulls the shots, and you're the one who shows where the limits will be, the perimeters and the ground rules for the relationships, you know. And a man has to show it clearly. I knew you, we were friends. We could have even been boyfriend and girlfriend. We could have even have been married and divorced.
Yes.
But now I'm married.
Things have changed.
Things have changed. I am with a woman here.
Right.
I have a life, you know, that I'm living. And I'm not going to be a foolish man to accept what is my past to come into what is in my present and my future.
Right.
So a wise man will always, you know, just draw the line, you know, and see what am I going to gain here and what am I losing. You know, I'm gaining my woman here, so I'm going to protect her. Whether I knew this other woman or not, it doesn't matter.
Times
and
have
I have to put the lines. I'm the one to draw the perimeters. The ground rules start with me. I am the boss here. This is what men should know. Yeah, and it should be clear who you want and who you don't want, and you do it by your ground rules.
And that's just
as simple as that.
And that supports what you're
saying.
saying.
So a woman can come, being gully, and all those kind of things. Just hey, hold
respect.
Yeah, respect. This is my wife. This is my girlfriend. We are together. We're moving on. Yeah. And some of those people is high and by. Some of them is high and by.
You move on.
Others are Merry Christmas and Happy New Year only.
And you move on.
And you move on.
Now, Bishop, I'm going to ask a very it's a difficult question. It was trending on social media. There was a photo of this man who comes in and the car is there and his mother is there. His wife is there. His daughter is there. Who sits in front? That thing trended, and I'll tell you, there was no answer that had maybe even 50% of support. People were saying mother, father, daughter, and a wife. Who sits in front? They're all looking at you.
In your car?
Yes.
That should not even be a question. That's not a question at all.
Bishop, this was a hard one.
No, it wasn't.
On social media?
It was hard to fools.
So who sits?
I'm sorry. It was hard to fools.
If you said, okay, give us the answer first, Bishop.
It is a wife.
If you made a comment and you said your mother and your daughter, you know who you are. It's a wife.
It's not your mother. It's not your daughter. Who's your next of kin?
It's your wife.
Who is your blood and flesh and bone? Bone of my bones, yes. Flesh of my flesh. Who is it? Is it your mother or is it your wife?
It's your wife.
Now, if you want to go Bible way, if you want to go God's way, yes. It is your wife. If you want to go traditional way,
it is your mother.
It's your mother.
So let's go Bible way.
Bible way, Christian way is definitely your wife. Your wife is number one in your life. Your wife comes before your mother.
Yes.
By far. You left your mother. Man shall leave his father and mother and shall be joined together to her, and they shall become one flesh. One, not two. This is the equation of 1 + 1 = 1.
Can all the women type amen? At this point, you need to share. I know some of you are wishing your mothers-in-law on Facebook, on YouTube. You share, you tag them so that they know, because this, Bishop, and I'm glad you've just given such a direct answer.
It is direct.
The truth of the matter is, this has been a bone of contention.
It can't be. I'm telling you, it is straightforward in the scriptures. A man shall leave his father and mother. It does not even say a wife. She's a man.
Yes.
And they shall become one, not two, one. They shall become one. You understand me? So the man has to understand. This is something they need to understand completely and totally. And that even in the home setting, God comes first, then the man, then the wife. That's the equation we have in the Corinthians, the book of Corinthians, where God teaches how the equation should be. So it's a straightforward thing. And men need to understand that.
Wanaume, I hope you're listening. Bishop is very direct on that one, and you have been told it's even biblical. So that argument ends today.
It ends up there. But if you want to be traditional, there's some traditional men who say, the wife the wife is not my blood, it's my mother who's my blood and stuff. Traditionally, there's some people who bring that.
Yes.
My friend, some of us are past tradition. And some of us have got greater revelation from the Word of God. Amen. The Word of God actually is higher than any tradition. Absolutely. But they also say that tradition sometimes nullifies the Word of God. So you have to choose. Are you going to go the Bible way, the God way, or are you going to go the traditional way? The God way is the wife is number one in your life on this earth. The wife is. Yeah.
Bishop, what are some of these things? I mean, women are screaming, and you can see from the comments, women are saying, no, we need to hear more. Things like, they don't seem to understand us. Last week we said, my first question was, men say women don't seem to understand us. Women also say the same things. So how is that? We don't understand the women. They say this and we want to, they can talk for 50 hours and, we don't seem to understand them even after they've talked for 3 hours. What are we getting wrong as men?
Well, I don't know if you've read the book that says that an average woman speaks 25,000 words a day. Wow. And a man speaks 10 to 15 words a day, So you find that women speak more than men, generally speaking. Generally speaking.
Yes.
Of course, I do know that there are women who don't speak much. Particularly the ones who are accountants. They're behind with their books and stuff. But generally speaking, that's the average words they normally give. That a woman speaks about 25,000 words a day, which is much, much less compared to what a man speaks.
Right.
So that tells you that a man has to understand that. And it brings me another point where I need to say that men must be good listeners, since we have women who are just given to speak.
And men generally struggle with listening.
That's the problem, that's the problem. So since women are wired to speak, a wise man who wants to show love to the woman who is in their lives must be somebody who actually is given to listening. And I'm talking about listening. I'm not talking about men who pretend to be listening, but they're not, because that also puts women off. Because women can tell when you're pretending to listen and when you're not. I'm not saying that you're listening and you're watching your football game at the same time. I'm not saying you're listening and you're reading the newspaper at the same time. I'm talking about giving somebody attention, stopping everything that you need to do and listening to the person. That's what women like, because women are wired to speak. I mean, the woman will come home and the woman will talk, from morning, how she drove, how the lights took long to come green, how the traffic was bad, and there was a boy who was crossing the road. I almost hit the boy, and on and on and on, but the man will not speak that way. The man will just say, it was good, I went to work and I'm back. But, as they say, men deal with headlines and women deal,
the details.
With the details, of the story. So we as men have to understand, since we have our women, and let me say this, which is going to be offensive sometimes to some women, to some men maybe, we cannot do without the women.
We cannot do without the women. Bishop says this.
I am telling you, I don't care who's going to criticize me for this.
Yes.
It's okay if they criticize me, but I'm telling you today, we the men, we cannot do without the women. And since we cannot do without the women, and by the way, just in case I made a point, you can say amen if you're a lady. And even if you're a man, you can say amen, because it is the truth that we cannot do without women in our lives. We cannot.
Are we in agreement? Gentlemen, please give us your comment. Can you do without a woman? Let's just be very, very honest. And ladies, I hope you're saying amen times 10. Share this on your wall right now and tell people, please come and hear what Bishop David Moridi is saying. And he said, we men, yani sisi wanaume, we cannot do without the women.
We are pathetic without women.
Wow.
We are sympathetic without women. We are horrible without women. It's women that add color to this life. It's women that make this life beautiful.
Wow.
Think about life without women. How would life be if we're all men? Oh my God.
All sweating, watching football.
In the book of Exodus, one of the deals that Pharaoh gave the Israelites was, you can go but leave your women behind.
Yes.
That was one of the deals that he gave them. And the Israelites said, no way. Moses himself said, we're not leaving our women. How can we leave our women? I mean, how can you tell us to go without our women? What are we going to do? How is life going to be without our women? That's one of the deals that Pharaoh gave to Moses in the book of Exodus. And I'm here to tell you, Moses was sharper and the Israelites were sharper to know that men cannot live and do well without their women. So because we cannot do without their women and they are wired to talk, we have to be good listeners.
Men, please now take care of your women very well. If they speak for 4 hours, try and listen for 3 hours and 59 minutes. Please, undivided attention, as Bishop David Moridi says. Oh my goodness, Bishop. Even as we get to the tail end of this, and by the way, we'll be doing part 2 of this show next week. And what I'd ask you to do, please send us your questions. Maybe there are many things that you have experienced personally, or there's something that is tugging in your heart that you'd like Bishop to deal with. So send us your questions, and we'll try our level best to deal with them next week. Let me get out of the marriage setting, and I'm going into the courtship stage. What is one thing that the ladies wish men knew in as far as the length of time of dating? Because I get so many questions. How long should a man date before proposing? Some people have been dating for 5 years, 7 years. Are those men or boys?
Well, I think, having studied quite a bit and having done counseling and all that kind of stuff, I personally think that a dating that goes beyond 2 to 3 years becomes toxic. When you start dating for 5, 7, 10 years, my friend, you may never get married.
Yes.
You may never get married. So be careful when the dating is really, really extremely unnecessarily prolonged. What is it that you need to know after 2, 3 years of a person? Now, one thing I need to say here is I don't care how long you date, you'll never know the person until you marry them.
So you might as well just marry them.
You'll never know the person until you marry them. The real person gets out of the box when you take them home.
Right.
Dating is just, most of it is just, a lot of it, I'm not saying all of it.
Yes.
A lot of it is just pretense.
So
A lot of it is just phony. A lot of it is not real. A lot of it, you know, when you're dating, you put your best foot forward. You know, you can't do certain things when you're dating. You know, it's when you marry somebody, you take them home, and then the real person jumps out of the closet. And then that's the time you really know them. So I think personally that I do not personally recommend for people to date for more than 2, 3 years. I don't recommend it.
So 2 years is average.
I don't recommend it.
Wow.
These people who date for 8, 10 years, most of them, according to what I've seen in life, they end up just not even getting married. They just end up not getting married. Or alternatively, they're married but they don't know.
Yeah.
They could be married and still pretending they're dating.
Absolutely.
So just check yourself out. But if it is proper dating, I do not recommend for people to date for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't recommend that.
So 2 years, at most 3. So average of 2 years. One last question, Bishop. And as I said, ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll be dealing with this in more depth. And any questions that you may have, please do not hesitate to send us those messages. I'll ask one last question, Bishop, as we sign off. Because I asked you this last week as well. Can a man tell a woman that his best friend is a girl? A female?
And a man,
Would a woman accept her husband or a boyfriend to have a best friend of the opposite sex?
you know, that is, it could be true, but I will not say it.
Okay.
Because women are jealous.
Right.
Not just women. Love is jealous.
Yes, sir.
Love is jealous. I mean, God himself says he's jealous over us. God himself says he's jealous because he loves us too much. So women are generally jealous. So once you know how a woman is, there's some things me I will not say.
Right.
I would not try to tell the woman in my life that so-and-so is my best friend and they're ladies. It's so unwise. Why can't you not just, as you said,
Kanyagia. Hashtag Kanyagia. Okay. All right.
Because women are jealous.
Yes.
I mean, they're extremely jealous of love. And love is jealous, you know. It's like it's a man being told by a woman, you know, so-and-so is my best friend and he's a man.
Yes.
I should be your best friend.
Absolutely.
If I'm in your life.
Yes.
You know, not another person. Equally, she should be your best friend.
Right.
And truly speaking, she should be. How can somebody be your best friend? You're spending more time with this lady. You're eating with this lady. You're going out with this lady.
Yes.
Everything of your life you're doing with her. You're sharing with this lady your secrets and everything. Your ups and downs you're sharing with this lady. How can somebody else actually end up being the best friend? How?
Let your spouse, let your fiancé, let your girlfriend be your best friend. I said this was the last question, but Bishop, just allow me to draw it a little further. As our camera guy is setting up properly there, last week we said, and you're very passionate about this point, that the mistake women make is by undressing their man publicly. Would you say the same about women? Do they like their issues being discussed out there? Because as it is, by themselves, they like discussing their issues out there. Does it hurt them when their man does it?
Oh, yes, it does.
It does.
It does big time.
Okay.
Yeah, if it is them sharing, it's okay. But if it's the man sharing, it's a problem.
Well,
that's the paradox of the whole thing.
Yes, whether you agree or not, well, next week we'll find out. We'll delve deeper into this topic. Thank you very much for watching. This is Coffee with BDM. And by the way, this Sunday, please be at House of Grace. Our service is 10 to half 11, very prompt. We have taken care of all the health regulations, so please come here. Bishop David Moridi has a very deep word for you. The directions on the screen here. And if you're not in the country, please make sure you're awake to share this on your wall, and you'll be blessed by Bishop David Moridi. Thank you very much. Next week, we'll do part 2 of the same topic here on Coffee with BDM. I've been your host, Robert Durale.